But you know what? I'm not a fan of either, Rob.
What?
2 great fight cards on the same night.
Yeah.
Bellator.
Although, you know,
yeah, well, look,
just because you can't watch them exactly at the same time.
Look,
you can.
You can. I'm gonna have the old stream going on the tablet and the UFC on the screen.
Oh, so that's what you're choosing. You're choosing the screen for the UFC.
Screen is the UFC.
Oh, okay.
UFC Bellator 192 Lima versus MacDonald. Oh no, wait, hold on. Jackson versus Sonnen has changed this week. Goes down this week, and it's the opening stanza, if you like, of the open weight heavyweight tournament. It goes down in Inglewood, South Central. Terrible. Headlined by Quinton Rampage Jackson taking on Chael. The bad guy Sonnen, Douglas Lima, Rory McDonald, Michael Chandler against Yamauchi, and how do I say it again? Kerry Kamen and against Henry Morales, and Aaron Pico taking on Shane Cochin. So let's start there. Where Aaron Pico, Rob, hugely impressive knockout in his last bout. Decorated Olympian wrestler, absolute phenomenon. Are we going to get to see the Aaron Pico show again here against Cochin, who was a 12-3 against a 1-on-1? So it's crazy, but it's again the background of Pico here. If you were looking at this and you were unaware, like Pico he's tipped by many to be the next big thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like when we had Jimmy Smith on the show, he told us about a production meeting that they had before Aaron Pico's debut, which he fought again, another good guy. He actually lost that fight, but he fought another really good, experienced guy. And he told us that the Bellator officials, the Bellator execs, Scott Coker and the like, basically said that this guy is our golden boy, and we're going to throw him straight into some of the best guys we have. Obviously not the main eventers or not the really, really good guys, but you know, we're not going to put him in there against cans. We're not going to put him in there against inexperienced guys. We're going to put him in there against guys we generally think he's going to be competitive with. And again, it's the same here. This guy coming from the WSOF is a really experienced guy. He doesn't have many losses on his career. And he's a good submission artist. That's why I think I might go with Aaron Pico. I haven't seen a lot of this guy, but he's somebody that really likes to take the fight to the ground. And in the highlights I've seen, he has a lot of good chokes. But I do think Aaron Pico has the wrestling to stay on his feet. And if we see a repeat of his last one where his boxing looked really, really crisp, I think we're going to see another highlight as well. It's just really difficult to say with Aaron Pico when he's going against guys who are really experienced. We don't know if he's at that level yet. We just don't. But it's almost the mystique that he plays off, the mystique that Bellator are promoting, that makes you want to say, maybe he is that good. Maybe what we've seen in his last fight is real.
What I liked about Pico is, right, his wrestling background is
insane.
It's just ridiculous. So,
and he has a boxing background.
You're there
too. Going,
right, so his wrestling background. What's he like? And then you see the power that he comes with, and you go, holy God. Like, that knockout was like, that was one of my considerations for knockout of the year. He's only 21. So what has he done
21.
from last fight to this camp?
Yeah.
Like, he coming from the pedigree of wrestling as well, like every day in the gym is school time. And this guy is like top of the class.
Yeah.
So what the information that he'll soak up and be able to get in, like, it is terrifying. Cochin here, obviously you're saying he's coming from a couple of different, this is his Bellator debut as well, so it's a great opportunity for him coming into Bellator taking on Aaron Pico. But for me here, you're going to go with Pico. It's just, his explosiveness is just phenomenal. The speed and the power that he possesses is quite scary. Yeah. And if he has good fundamentals as the boxing background as well, he is like, I like that they're giving him guys. They're not giving him, like, they're not doing what other promotions are guilty of you know, slow rolling a guy and giving them lads that are just coming off amateur careers.
But you could also you could understand if they did.
Oh yeah,
you know,
it's credit to Bellator.
I genuinely think that Aaron Pico, despite that first loss, and we do have to consider that he does want the competition, but we do have to consider that he had that first loss and he was finished, he was hurt, so that can happen again. But I genuinely think that Aaron Pico is the type of athlete that Brock Lesnar was, who came into the heavyweight division, and this wasn't the heavyweight division when it was absolutely horrendous. It wasn't great. It really wasn't great. But it wasn't back in the dark ages where it was just brawlers and nobody was there. This was a guy who could come in and could compete based on his athleticism and his wrestling. I think Aaron Pico's similar. I'm going to go Aaron Pico. I'm going to just go with a highlight reel finish or something. Crazy first round finich. But knockout.
Your next bout of the evening is your man that you're nailing the name of.
Georgie Karakhanyan.
Yeah, beautiful against Henry Corrales. What do you think of this one up?
I like the fight. It's two guys who are, I believe, are kind of underappreciated. They've been around for a long time. And they're both very, very talented. I like Georgie Karakhanyan. I believe he was a WSOF guy. He was a champion. Yeah. Well, he's beat some really good. Like Lance Palmer, good wrestler. Daniel Pineda, former UFC guy, he finished him by knockout, and Pineda has a good chin as well. I like him, and I don't know. It's a weird fight because they're both in, from what I see, at a similar level in terms of experience and in terms of talent. And they're both on decent runs. So it's a hard one to pick. But I just think Georgie is a little bit more experienced and a little bit more well-rounded. So I'm going to go with him.
That's this as well. They're two, again, you know, when you live, like, let's be honest, it's like the Premier League here in Ireland, or the NFL, if you like. And well, I think the NFL is the only, is it?
What?
Football league in America, is it? They have college football.
Yeah, well, yeah, but in America,
regional,
you have like Canadian football.
Yeah, so like,
and the XFL is coming back.
You know, these two are like veterans as well in Bellator and other promotions as well. As you said, Rob, WSOF champion. So, you know, expect to see this to be a fight that you mightn't. My old favourite, you know, if you're a big UFC watcher and you do watch this card, I'd encourage you to watch this. Get a stream, you'll get it. You're going to see two experienced guys here, which will lead to a good fight. But I agree with you, Rob. I think Kargarian will just have too much here.
I think he's just been. I think also he's been in there with some of the better guys. Like obviously they've both been in there with really good guys. Like the losses on Corrales' record are no joke. Like he had 3 in a row, but it was to Daniel Strauss, Manuel Sanchez, and Pitbull. So you can't really throw your nose up against that. And then if you look at the loss on Georgie's career, it was Vichel, Pat Curran, and again Sanchez as well. So they're kind of, they have similar opponents. I think I think it's a really well matched fight. I think that's what you can say. A really well matched fight.
I want to move it on because we're time sensitive here. So Chandler against Yamauchi, you like this one as well?
I really like this one. This is I like this one a lot.
Rob just licked his lip.
Michael Chandler, I think if you've watched any Bellator, he's one of the big stars in Bellator, one of the homegrown stars, somebody that a lot of people want Bellator to push more and push him into the main event scene. And Yamauchi is so talented on the ground and has a great kickboxing game that it makes this fight really, really interesting because Chandler likes to strike, but his real strength is in the wrestling. Yamauchi likes to strike, but when it hits the floor, that's when he's really, really dangerous. So what's going to happen here?
Pick your poison.
Exactly.
Michael Chandler.
Pick your poison, Michael Chandler. But also, even though I do like Yamauchi on the feet, Michael Chandler has that knockout power. You've seen in his last knockout was just insane. So he has that kind of power where he can just shut off the lights like that.
Interesting to see as well, though, what he looks like coming off that loss in his last fight.
Yeah, the weird loss where he hurt his, wasn't he hurt his leg and he was bouncing around the ring. Yeah, he wanted that rematch, but I think this is a really excellent fight. I would not be surprised if Yamauchi picked up something. I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Chandler tried to mix it up, bring it to the floor, and he got caught in something, because Yamauchi he's genuinely, I feel, one of the better grapplers in MMA. Just the way he uses jiu-jitsu, he can use it really well off his back, and some of his techniques to sweep and to get submissions are just beautiful. And I'm almost leaning towards him, but I'm gonna say Michael Chandler, just because what we've seen in the Eddie Alvarez fights where he can get into a brawl and he can come out on top. I think he can, if he wants to keep on the feet, I think he can keep on the feet. If he wants to take it down, I think he can stay safe on the ground if he's careful and maybe win rounds. So I'm gonna go with Michael Chandler by a decision. But man, this is exciting. This is a good one.
This next bout, Rob, for me this is why I think in a way Bellator have made a mistake by putting this card on the same night as the UFC.
Yeah,
I really do, because I think Douglas Lima against Rory McDonald is one of the best matchups you can make at 170. I really do. Like, I don't think there's many fights that you go, oh my god. So this is why, in a way, why did you just put it on the same night? Like, just stick to your Friday night platform like you normally do. Douglas Lima, Rory McDonald, just how good is a fight? Because I turned around today, I was sitting as I was working. Geez, I sound like I done no work today. And I stuck on a Douglas Lima highlight reel.
Yeah.
And I'm going, holy shit, like, you forget just how good and insane this guy is. Yeah. Like, he's the type of guy that, like, if you, like what you were saying, if you want to go to the ground, he'll happily go there with you.
Yeah.
But if you want to stand in a phone box and trade, he will sit in the pocket with you.
Yeah,
and absolutely break you in that pocket. He is a... Do you know who he reminds me of? I honestly think this fight...
Do you want to say Robbie Lawler?
Could be Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald. I really, really do. I just think I'd probably give... You'd give Lima more, if you were like a trump card, more points on the ground, I think, than Robbie Lawler for me. But I honestly think this has the hallmarks of an absolute classic.
Yeah.
Like, Rory McDonald looked fantastic in his last outing. But I just think here, Douglas Lima, a lot of people are just thinking that Rory McDonald's going to turn up here and watch. I just encourage you to go back and watch his fights. Look at his finishes of, like, Saunders or...
Yeah.
Just look at his finishes in his last few fights and what he's done to these guys. Like, he beat the shit out of them, like, and he just stays in the pocket and is technical but wild at the same time. He has a ferocity and a venom in all the shots he throws. Got beautiful strong leg kicks, a beautiful hook, check hook to come in off. He's just Douglas Lima is phenomenal. And then Rory McDonald is just an absolute psychopath. But it's a calm, precise, cool. Looks like he's going to the shop for a pint of milk while he's beating you up. This, for me, this could be the fight of the weekend. This could be fight of the year. That's in a way why I'm really disappointed at Bellator.
I genuinely think you could put this up with Francis Ngannou and Stipe Miocic and say which one's better. And I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I think a good few people would go for the Rory fight against Douglas Lima. I completely agree with you. This could be one of them fights where you're just like, holy shit, similar to the Robbie Lawler. I see the similarities in places, especially when they're in the pocket, they just throw. Douglas Lima is huge. He's huge. I don't know how he makes the weight. Could be very, very interesting. One thing I will point out as well is that we've seen Rory McDonald come back after those couple of losses, and we've seen him have a great performance, but we didn't see him get hit. And I'd be very, very interested to see what happens when he gets hit. I'm not saying that he's shot. I think he looked brilliant in his last fight, and I think he proved that he wasn't shot. But also, when he got hit by Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, he did look a little bit shook. When he got hit by Robbie Lawler, we've seen what happened. I'm not saying he has a bad chin. He has an unbelievable chin. He went down because his body just couldn't take it anymore. He didn't get knocked out. But I'd be very, very interested to see if this goes into a war, how Rory McDonald stands up to that war. But based on what we've seen and based on Rory McDonald's last performance, I just think he's going to be able to outwork Douglas Lima.
Do you think he's going to go do what he done in the sense of daily?
Similar. I think similar. He's going to fight really technically, but again, Douglas Lima is a guy who can drag that war out of people, and I think if it gets into that war, Douglas Lima has every chance to win this. But I'm going to go with Rory McDonald to keep it technical for the most part and win a decision.
I think it's a fucking phenomenal fight. I really do think
What's your pick?
Fight. Oh.
Quick.
Douglas Lima.
Whoa.
I think Rory's going to... Oh shit, hold on. Is it a 3-round fight? Bellator only do 3 rounds, don't they? Or is it a 3-round fight?
It should be 5 rounds, no? Five rounds.
It is. Okay.
You're thinking of Bama.
Bama.
My joke. Do it.
Yeah, I think Douglas Lima.
Okay, Douglas Lima.
I think Rory's going to incorporate, but Rory will get dragged into the... I don't know. Oh, it's such a tough fight.
You're going with Douglas Lima.
Douglas Lima, boy. It's going to be... I think it's going to be in a phenomenal... I want Rory McDonald to win. I'm a huge Rory McDonald fan. Just look at my Twitter bio. It's me interviewing Rory. I love Rory McDonald. But I don't know. I have this vision of Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald, except Robbie Lawler's replaced with Douglas Lima. Main event, Rampage Jackson taking on Chael, the bad guy, Sonnen, who has said he's going to knock out Quinton Rampage Jackson.
Don't think so.
What do you see happening, though?
It's a weird fight, isn't it? This is a weird one. It's kind of who has looked less impressive, or who has looked more impressive less impressively, if that makes any sense. I feel like looking at Quinton Jackson, I feel like he seems kind of motivated for this. Chael Sonnen, he done okay against Silva. The Ortiz fight was pretty terrible. I thought he looked absolutely awful in that fight. I'm not sure what went down. Jackson, you know,
He tapped.
remember that. Jackson again hasn't really looked great either. They're both not heavyweights. It's a light heavyweight fighting a middleweight at heavyweight.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with the light heavyweight to win. Just yeah.
See, the thing with I
don't know.
The
It's
thing
a
with
weird
Quinton Rampage Jackson is Rampage. He does have good takedown defense.
Yeah.
But if you get him down, he's like a beetle on his back.
Yeah.
He'll
can't
walk.
get back.
He will cage walk and he'll get up. But like, I honestly see Chael can take him down. If Chael can take him down and get 10 grand for every takedown, by the way. If Chael takes him down, Chael could technically hold him down. I think size is going to be the thing here.
Yeah.
And Jackson, I was looking at the episode thing and I noticed every time Rampage was on, he was wearing a big hoodie.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what Quinton Rampage looks like.
It seems like he's training in them videos, but they're also videos.
He's running around, and as his coach said, when he went for his thyroid, he was told he has an overactive knife and fork.
Yeah.
Look, you'd have to favour Jackson with power.
Power. That's the thing. I just think Chael Sonnen has been hurt.
But my thing is that Jackson, his worst nightmare, his worst fights are against wrestlers.
It's his worst fight. That's the hard thing.
Yeah,
isn't
it's his worst fight. So can Chael take him down?
Yeah.
I think fatigue could be a big thing here.
Yeah.
I really do think fatigue could be like if Chael can get Quinton into the later rounds, Chael could do it. But you've also seen Chael quit when Chael has quit. So it's fucking Jackson.
Jackson by a finish. I'm gonna say Jackson by a TKO.
TKO. I agree.
That's it.